let's get rolling here. Hi everybody who's on for a late night crypto and RUM. I'm gonna change this. Live market analysis dash late night crypto and RUM. Alright. Tonight's RUM is brought to you by Diet Coke, Lime, and Florida Cana. I'll put on the camera here. Oh, I'm gonna turn on my TV in 1 second, guys. Alright, I'm gonna be just doing some chart work. If you want to follow along, ask questions, great. If not, no. And then I'm gonna be talking about these altcoin phases. And we're currently, I think, in phase 1 of the altcoin rotation. Okay. So let's get rolling here. A lot of people didn't recognize my channel because I changed my little, I don't know. All right. So what I wanted to go over was a few things. We've seen obviously the beginnings of alt season. Let's go to our Bitcoin dominance. It's kind of our general guide for where we're at in alt season. And then there's an alt season website. Alt season index. Is it alt season right now? We're getting there. We're warming up. We still gotta get above. It's still Bitcoin season. It's Bitcoin season right now. Still got some work to do to be alt season. But we're getting there. I don't want to translate this. That's in German. Huh. Alright. This is our other guide. It's my chart here. So the 70 is a significant level. We've touched that a couple times here. Late 2019, early 2020. And then obviously we spiked above it. Last time we spiked above that 70 level, we hit 73-ish back on, let me turn this mic down just a little bit so it gets background noise. Back on September 2019. And then again, we touched this other line, December 2017. All right. So we've got a long way to go. Alt season would be when we start to make moves toward the 50. And then alt season is really this 50 to 35 range. So we've got a long way to go. So that's why I say we are currently in phase 1 of alt season, which is your rotation phase. So let's go look at that on a chart here. I'm going to copy this thing here. On our BLX chart, paste this right over here. All right, perfect. So what we're going to do for the millionth time is we're going to overlay, how do we want to show this? Let's look at Ethereum USD, okay? And so it normalized everything by percentage gain from the left to the right. I don't know if y'all know when you do this, by the way. Sometimes people may not be aware. But whatever's on the very left of your screen when you do a comparison, that's where it starts the price action, and then it does a percentage. So like right now, I just did Ethereum USD. Ethereum is up 860% from the beginning of 2020, and Bitcoin is up 400%. So remember that as we go through here. Ethereum has outgained Bitcoin this cycle. All right. Let's go look at some things back here last cycle. And we're going to look at alt season, how it all played out. So that was the new all-time high. So let's just make sure I have my chart right. Let's put this in logarithmic mode. All right. So that's the prior all-time high of the prior bull market. There's the bull market. And then there's the swing high of the bear market phase right there. Call that the swing high. That doesn't make any sense. Bull market, bear market. this level here. But nonetheless, this is what we're looking at. This is the prior all-time high. This, look at something real fast. That was the prior swing high of the bear market. We didn't have just a clean bear market swing high, did we? I guess that would be it way down here. Nonetheless, that's what I called it. All right. So looking at last cycle, now it's broken the correlation. Now it's on. I gotta put it. It's a log mode. Gets rid of the correlation, doesn't it? Go back to percentage mode here. All right. Let's look at last cycle. Sorry for being so disjointed here. All right, this is Ethereum USD's price. Now, as we saw, of course, last cycle, let's go from the halving, right from the halving, up through the really parabolic moves that these two instruments made. I gotta take this out to start the case. All right, so the very first thing we saw happen was this, what I called this rotation. When Bitcoin sold off, Ethereum really ramped. Now, market dynamics were a lot different back then, of course, but we talked about this before. The price of Ethereum followed Bitcoin, followed Bitcoin, followed Bitcoin, followed Bitcoin. Then right here, they got disconnected. There was an initial sell-off, Ethereum followed it, and then Ethereum started to ramp, and Bitcoin kind of topped out here. Bitcoin sold off and Ethereum ramped. So there was a big rotation. Now, that seemed like at the time, you look at this in this chart here, if you were trading this, you'd be like, whoa, that's a huge move that Ethereum made versus Bitcoin. And this move right here, with it catching up, might have seemed pretty big too, but that was a big move, right? Well, then what happened after this rotation? When Bitcoin made the new all-time high and held it for a while and really started to move up, then Ethereum just went parabolic. Like it went, this is the biggest of the disconnect between Bitcoin. It was up 3,000%, right? Something crazy. Ethereum was, whereas Bitcoin was up 300%, right? So it 10x Ethereum early on in the cycle, and then Ethereum sold off while Bitcoin consolidated, and then it made another little pop, but it kind of followed Bitcoin more than anything. Here it disconnected from Bitcoin, then it followed Bitcoin, and then at the end, I call this the grand finale. When Bitcoin made its grand finale, that's when Ethereum lagged, and then Ethereum took over right after Bitcoin started to sell off again, right? Hey, Henry. So let's change this now to Bitcoin ETH BTC. And I wanted to map this out for myself to make sure that I'm thinking correctly before I go look at the charts on the alt charts, okay? So I just want to make sure I had this in my mind correctly before I looked at where we're at, right? I wanted to get my bearings. I'm going to do something here so I can turn this into a video for tomorrow. Sorry if you guys are live with me, but I have limited time, so I have to kind of do lives and videos at the same time. Like, all right. So let's take a look at the alt season from last time one more time here. So we see, I'm on a more zoomed out level. This is ETH BTC. This is the ratio of Bitcoin to Ethereum, and let's get this more zoomed into the actual cycle. So we can see where we had the strongest. Get rid of this box behind here. Yeah, I'll leave it. All right. So what we're looking for is the strongest divergence and then correlation of events. Okay. So I contend that currently in this alt season, we're only in the first phase, which I call the rotation phase. We might be starting the FOMO phase here soon. Then you have your shakeout or bear market phase, and then you kind of moon phase. All right. Now what's important is that all of these phases are in relation to the US dollar, which typical retail will follow. But what we want to follow is the Bitcoin charts, because most of us are holding Bitcoin in our base accounts, and that's what we want to appreciate versus Bitcoin. Now, if you're focused on trading the USD charts, the same logic will apply, but the main thing is trying to, we know Bitcoin's the trade right now due to the halving cycle and all the macroeconomic events. So what we had in this last phase was what I call the rotation. So you see here at the very bottom of my screen, right there, we had an event where Bitcoin sold off and Ethereum pumped versus Bitcoin. This is the best time to be trading because as Bitcoin's falling, you can be stacking more Bitcoin for this remainder of this run. But we want to try to catch this inversion event, which I think is still upcoming. We see these alts starting to ramp. We are like right here in the cycle. The alts are starting to ramp up, but it's coinciding with a bit of a peak in Bitcoin possibly. Then what happened is after this peak here, it kind of stagnated, so consolidated a little bit, ETH versus Bitcoin as Bitcoin made its run. Now when Bitcoin really started to pull away from its prior all-time high, which is kind of where we're at, so we may be over here as well. So this total inversion may not happen. We're going to check the charts here in a minute. But then as Bitcoin made a big run away from the prior all-time high, Ethereum pumped stronger. So alts, in theory, should outrun Bitcoin at some phase in here. And then as Bitcoin makes its really parabolic run at the very end, this is when we want to get out of alts. So what we're looking for is we're looking to trade this event, this inversion event. We're looking to trade this event, this FOMO event where everybody's FOMOing into crypto and alts are simply outrunning Bitcoin. So we want to take the rotation from Bitcoin into alts, trade that. We want to trade when alts are outgaining Bitcoin when the FOMO starts to kick in. And then when Bitcoin really starts to show its strength toward the end of the cycle, we want, for the grand finale up here, we want to be out of alts and all in Bitcoin. This is the time to be in Bitcoin. Actually, starting here, we want to be in Bitcoin here and out of alts for this last grand finale. Now, let's take a look at this on the how many months this was, right? So if we assume that this cycle is going to end in September, this will give us a gauge. So September, October, November, December, right? 4 months. So 4 months out. So right about June, we want to be probably out of altcoins. June is going to be the time to be out of alts and back into Bitcoin 100% for the grand finale in Bitcoin. Now, after Bitcoin sells off the last time, then that's the last moon phase for the alts, and they go ballistic here. It's kind of your moon phase, and they also have a good run here. But they really moon when the FOMO kicks in and Bitcoin's really ramping and pulling away from the prior all-time high. So let's see what we want to trade. We want to trade the rotation. We want to trade the FOMO. And we want to trade the moon. And we want to be out for the bear trap. But we also, actually I should add in here, rotation and this whole FOMO event here. I'm going to put, this is kind of that shakeout bear phase right here. But I'm going to change that term. This should really be the grand finale for Bitcoin's, and also the bear trap shakeout, and then BTC grand finale. We want to be out. We want to be out of alts for this event. So those two events, we want to be in here, out for these two, and then back in for the final mooning. Now let me show you why I say that the moon is at the end. And you're looking at this chart going, well, wait a minute. Ethereum clearly had peaked out here versus Bitcoin. Yeah, it had peaked out versus Bitcoin, but look at it on the this is what retail is going to be watching mostly. Let's look at it back on the USD chart. Here's the USD chart. So this event here looks like a non-event compared to after Bitcoin sells off. The moon phase is, so they're following Bitcoin. They're losing versus Bitcoin toward the end here, toward Bitcoin's grand finale, but they're still moving up. But after Bitcoin sells off, right here, notice this. Focus right where my mouse is. Right here, when this starts to ramp, what's happening with Bitcoin? Right? People are moving their funds around. This is the moon phase. This is also a tradable event. It'll be short-lived, and we need to be careful. I'll be trading with a partial set of my funds. So those are those are the phases we're really looking for. Now let's see if we actually are in the rotation and or the FOMO phase. And this is what I wanted to study and try to figure out where we're at. So basically, if you have cash left in alts, wait for the pump, then swap to BTC. Yeah. So, yeah. So again, the initial rotation, FOMO, and then alts kind of enter this bear phase as everything. You know, it's not really a bear phase. Alts are just fluttering around. If I put back on here the USD chart, ETH USD, or ETH BTC, ETH, like the alts are losing versus Bitcoin. At least they did last cycle, up until its grand finale. But this is an immediate sell-off right here, and that's after Bitcoin makes a big move, and then everything sells off. I kind of call that a bear trap, right? So let's see if where am I? Oh, I lost my notes. Nonetheless, all right, back to. Good evening, Marcos. Which one do you prefer, ADA or ADA? I prefer ADA to Link. If I had to pick one, I like them both. All right, let's see where we're at now in this cycle. Okay, so we've made the case. We have five phases, right? Rotation, FOMO. Here we are. Rotation, FOMO, and then shakeout, bear trap, then BTC grand finale, and then alt's final moon. And they really moon here versus USD, right? Because Bitcoin's making it, and so they out appreciate Bitcoin, but they really moon. All right, here's our phases. Let's see where we're at. So if we go back to the BTCD, remember those dates that I had talked about there? All right, this is Bitcoin dominance. Now what we want to do is we want to try to capture when Bitcoin comes into these areas of resistance and then sells off and finds support. We want to capture these sell-offs in Bitcoin versus alts. And we want to capture these big moves. Okay. So, assuming we get moves like that this cycle, you know, who knows? We'll play it by ear. But remember those dates I told you. So October, November, and then December. This is when the grand finale of Bitcoin. So this is that FOMO phase I talked about. So this is when alts, and we see here they started to die. It's right through here. This is that FOMO phase. This is a big move. Let's go back to our BLX chart here real fast. And I'm going to put back up ETH BTC. So the very first time ETH really, this whole area right here, this is the real tradable time for altcoins. It's kind of mid cycle if I fix this light. So you see what I have marked back here is from the halving, and my chart's being stupid on me, so I can't even get down there to fix this. Get the idea. From the halving, it's a little bit over. It's starting about halfway through the cycle. Let's get a ping on my. All right, so it's about halfway through the cycle, and this started March 2017 and ended July 2017. So let's go look at the BTC dominance. So I'm gonna turn this off. My brother's messaging me. Okay. March from April, January, February, March. So this event was a sell-off from these ridiculous levels that we turn off the percentage. Bitcoin was like 90-something% of the market. And there was this huge sell-off, found support July, and then fell again through August. Came up into this resistance in December, which is the grand. So this phase right here was that FOMO phase in altcoins. Then you had that bounce, and then you had another leg when this was when altcoins went parabolic. This is when Bitcoin made a good move and altcoins went parabolic versus Bitcoin. And then Bitcoin did its grand finale. This is the grand finale right here for Bitcoin. right? This is that bear trap area. When this is what right through here, Bitcoin and alts all sold off together. Okay, so that was kind of the bear trap, and then Bitcoin made its grand finale. All right, so this was the FOMO phase. We want to trade. This is the inversion, then a bounce, then the FOMO phase, then a bounce, and then the moon phase for alts. Hope that made sense. So this was our inversion, FOMO, then you had Bitcoin's grand finale, and then the sell-off. Okay, so let's see where we're at now. Now granted, coming into this, Bitcoin had much less dominance. So we've been on this long-term downtrend that we see here. So coming into this, the beginning of our whole cycle here corresponds to, on this chart here is when the halving kind of happened, right? All right, right over there. So coming into it, the halving actually happened through here. This is our parallel to that prior. Charts are being super annoying. Okay, this is what we have to work with. This is the market levels coming out of the bear market. This was the bear market levels, and then coming out of the bear market. Okay, so what we've had here is a really strong run by Bitcoin, an initial rejection. So this is our first kind of run by Bitcoin, initial rejection. This should be either the inversion phase, and I think the inversion phase might have already happened, because if you look at an actual Bitcoin chart, let's look at it up close. Let's look at like a 4 hour. You see the sell-off right here? I'm going to put back on the ETH BTC. I've got way too many. Why is it not showing? There it is. Alright, so you see that the Ethereum to Bitcoin made a big jump. Like, why is this not? No, let's put on USD then, turn off the Ethereum Bitcoin chart. But if you look very, very closely, you'll see a similar thing happened, right? When did Ethereum start to pump? Well, it started to pump right here. It's corresponded to another leg up in Bitcoin right there. But if we draw some parallel lines, you'll see that right there, when the sell-off happened, so I'm going to change this color to purple so you can see that that's Ethereum. All right, so when Bitcoin started to sell off right here, Ethereum really started to pump. So this is that inversion. I think this is in progress. I don't think it's over with yet. So I think people have been, now some institutional money is still coming into Bitcoin pretty fast and furious, but I think people took profits from Bitcoin and moved them to Ethereum. And that might have been what was happening even starting back here. But you see here this big leg down. Let's just move this horizontal level. Let's get this zoomed in a little bit more so we can all kind of see this. So it's right here. You see this big wick down right before? So you see that wick down right there? That's the very wick. That was funds flowing into, that's an inversion into Ethereum. So these sell-off events pumped Ethereum this cycle. Thanks, Tanner. So my brother helped me. My brother apparently has been doing some YouTubing himself. I don't know. He won't tell me his channel. Seems silly, but he helped me with some thumbnails anyway. All right. So we kind of had this inversion event, I think, going on. I think the FOMO has yet to get going, and here's why I think that. Back to our Bitcoin dominance chart. Let's turn this off. I'm going to read some comments. Some say ADA has more room to run from market cap perspective. Oh yeah, Hood. A lot more room to run, for sure. Almost 1,000 subscribers. Thanks for sharing your knowledge. No problem. Yeah. I'm hoping to chop this up and make a little video for tomorrow. I was going to just make a video, but I was like, I'm just going to go live. It's almost easier to go live and then edit in YouTube later at this point. All right. So the Bitcoin dominance chart, we're at pretty elevated levels. I'm guessing that what we're going to have, and you saw a big sell-off here, so we've had a decent sell-off. I'm guessing what we're going to have this inversion event, we're going to have a couple of bounces like we did here, right? A sell-off. So we still have a big potential rotation left ahead of us, and then we'll find some support level, bounce back, and then another leg down. This other leg down is going to be when Bitcoin really starts to separate. Now it's already separated quite a bit from the prior all-time high. So these stupid percentages are messing me all up. So we may be hitting the FOMO phase early. So this may be just straight FOMO phase. I don't know. We're definitely in the time to start trading alts though. But if we look at our Bitcoin dominance, this is what I kind of see happening, right? I see us making a big leg down. Something's going to cause it to bounce, and you get this idea right here, right? So you see this kind of this whole thing play out. I bet we get a move that looks like this, just like this. And maybe we sell, this is probably too shallow, right? It's probably something more like we come into a level down here that I don't have marked, bounce up to something like this, and then down. Now the question is going to be, what do we do at 50%? I think for a lot of this is the sweet spot right here from the 70 to 50, because I'm pretty confident we're going to make a move to where the altcoins catch up enough cap space versus Bitcoin that they close this 50% gap. However, given that this cycle's playing out a little bit differently, given the institutional money, I don't know if we break this 50% and have alts really, really pump. Now that didn't happen, remember, until after Bitcoin started to sell off at Bitcoin bear market last time. So I guess that's a fair, we probably won't have that snap until after, if it does snap, until after Bitcoin goes into its bear phase. So but this is the meat of the move that we want to try to capture, is from where we're at right now as alts sell off into about this level. And that's where we should probably be looking to take profit, is about that level right there. And maybe we get our bounce here. I don't know. But I hope that's helpful. So you want to buy alts at the bounce back. So this is Bitcoin dominance. As Bitcoin's falling, alts are rising. So the higher this is, the weaker alts are. The lower this is, the stronger alts are, right? So what we want to do, right now Bitcoin is extremely strong versus altcoins. We want to be positioning ourselves into altcoins to capture this move of money into altcoins, which would coincide with a decline in the Bitcoin dominance, if that makes sense. All right, let's go look at some specific charts. I'm sick of talking about this, frankly. I think you guys get the point, though. Oh my goodness, Bitcoin's pumping again? What is going on? It's almost like this is bullish or something. All right, well, we're about to have a 38K party here in a minute on our hands. All right, back to levels. So ETH BTC, obviously we've broken out. We've got some really beautiful consolidation going in here. This is going to give us a really good entry signal. This is giving us a really good entry signal right now. This is what I've been waiting for. You see this upper trend line I've had here? My chart's getting a little bit busy, but you see this very upper trend line. I'll make it where you stand out a little bit more for you. This one is the one we're fighting against. That's the upper trend line. That's the breakout trend line. So we'll have to see closely what happens here. If we get a rejection here, take profits below this level, I think we're setting up for a trade entry as we consolidate under this for a move up. Now, in theory, we got a long way to go. So I've said that I'm looking, so back to that Bitcoin dominance chart, that big move from 70 to 50, that big move from 70 to 50 is going to correspond with the move in Ethereum from these 34,000 Satoshi level up to the 70,000 Satoshi level. So that's the inversion that we're going to see. So we want to be positioning ourselves into Ethereum and other alts for this big monster move that's about to happen. And that will probably coincide with, if you look here on this chart, we're now fighting the last piece of resistance before Ethereum's prior all-time high. Now I just said this in another video just not that long ago. I said Ethereum's going to play catch-up here very soon. It's going to make, I think I said it down here, right? If y'all remember, I said down here, it's going to make a move back to, I said 815 really fast. I blew through 815, went to 980. consolidated. It's up, but it's going to make a move back to its all-time high. Really, it's going to be a really fast move from these levels where it was consolidating back to its prior all-time high because there's such little resistance. So we're fighting the last piece of resistance right now. Once we break that, it'll fight with the prior all-time high, and once it breaks that, it's off. It's full FOMO phase for Ethereum. So Ethereum could go like 3,000 or 4,000 pretty fast once it breaks this. That's gonna be so when Ethereum goes from 1,400, so you'll see it like we'll break above here when it makes that move from 1,200 to 1,400. We should break above here and get some good consolidation for another entry. A breakout of the all-time high on Ethereum up to like some insane level 3,000 to 5,000. That's what's going to cause this Ethereum Bitcoin chart to do that, right? So it's going to be some huge monster level that Ethereum's going to hit, and that's where we're going to want to look to take profit, depending on price action and what's going on right there. ADA's obviously, so ADA's just now, look how much headroom ADA's got to move versus Bitcoin. And look at this prior all-time high. Remember, ADA made this all-time high of $1.40 back when it still wasn't even a functional, it was just an idea. It was just literally a white paper. It was just some like ICO coins that you could trade, but it was just a white paper. It wasn't even a functional protocol. Now it's a fully functional protocol. We're about to go completely live to where you can literally port straight from Ethereum to Cardano starting in March. And it's an easy port process to go from Ethereum to Cardano. So if it did this, right, if it went to $1.40 when it was just an idea, just a white paper, what's it going to do now? A lot more probably, but a link is strong. But this is why, I mean, I've been just saying this forever. But the ADA is just getting started. I know it seems big, 30 cents, yay. But it's got a long way to go. Like, I'm not taking profit till we get up to like 41, 45 Satoshis. That's and by that point, Bitcoin will have moved up. That's a 10x move before I start to take profit. That's why I say about $3. So we should come into this level, this resistance right here, about the same time that Cardano's hitting $3. Now the question is because last time obviously these are much smaller caps, so the gains are going to be potentially a lot smaller. So we're probably not going to see spikes like this. So the same is true of Ethereum and Bitcoin, right? This is why I'm not saying I'm going to take profit way up here at the very top, because I don't know that we're going to hit the very top in this market cycle. I know we're probably going to come into this area. Pretty confident about that. If we break out above this and Ethereum makes a big run, maybe after Bitcoin sells off, we may see another spike like that. We'll see. I don't know. Can't see the future, unfortunately. Make a lot more money. But ADA is going to make a big move like that. Dot's got a lot shorter chart here. Dot's coiling up here. So Dot broke out. Nice little breakout of this ascending wedge. And Dot's been nicely coiling up here. All right, that's a kind of a bull flag, probably. So I think Dot's going to make a big run here pretty soon. That's what I've been kind of saying anyway. Ethereum Classic is useless. If you want to try to trade it, I guess it's good for miners. I mean, because after Ethereum, the mainnet goes to proof of stake, you'll be able to continue to mine Ethereum Classic on proof of work. But yeah, I don't see any. Look, the Link BTC chart is still under a downtrend resistance, but ADA broke out. Yeah, let's go look at Link BTC. I have two different downtrends. So here's this one mega long downtrend. That one had less weight to me than this parabolic downtrend, I called it. Right, so this big downtrend right here, we broke out of this downtrend. That's what I cared about. I'm less inclined to be concerned about this other downtrend over here, because this is a bottoming pattern, right? So we broke this little bit of down right here. We've got a double bottom, and now we're resuming up. So I've been taking trades in here because to me this is what I cared about. Now, knowing that we're going to come into resistance here, if you look here, I have highlighted this is a key resistance level, and so this is a good, like, this is, and it's not really scalping. I mean, I'm making like real trades here, but when we come into here, I'll take profit for sure. That area. That's going to be 52,908 Satoshis, 53,000 Satoshis. I'll be taking profit. and then looking for trade entries on the other side of this. So yeah, we still, depends on where you draw this line, and depends on your feed too. Like I know Alan's charts are a little bit different than mine. He's got his a little shallow because his feed's a little different, and his lines up better with that other touch too. Mine doesn't because of where I'm getting my feed, I guess. Can you look at XRP? Looks like it'll rally in short term. Yeah, it's not going to. It's coming into resistance. It's gonna stop right here. Look, I'll show you. Yeah, that's not, you're not gonna, this is a dead cat bounce on XRP. It's not gonna go back up. So here's your levels. So this was your support that you found. I guess it really found support. There's a support level. Let me just draw in some levels for you. There's a support level. There's a support level. There's a resistance level. There's a resistance level. Okay. You may bounce back to the second one. I doubt it. I think you're going to get stopped right where you're at. I think XRP is not going to make it past this. So it came. It's coming into that resistance right now. See what happens on a shorter time frame. Do the 12-hour shorter time frame. Yeah, it's an ugly downtrend. Yeah, this is a dead cat bounce. I mean, to me, it passed. It slammed through. You see, it caught some support right here first, and this big sell-off. The big sell-off, let's just zoom in on it for you. This big monster sell-off caught support at this line right here, had a dead cat bounce, came back down, tried to consolidate there, fell through, so tried to hold support, it lost support, fell through, peaked down to here, got back up to here, it's been ranging in here. Yeah, I mean, that was a big dead cat bounce. You're into resistance right now, you have to break this. Break this and hold it, you might have a chance to get out of here, but I don't see it. I guess there was a couple exchanges that said that they would allow them to keep trading until the SEC made a final ruling, so maybe it was keeping it alive, but I wouldn't go long. You're right into resistance right now. You would need to restore confidence that you're in an uptrend. Let me just show you this. Let me just show you how I gauge uptrends. It's a downtrend. So, I want my moving averages to be moving upwards. And so you saw what happened here is the moving averages, these longer ones flatline and the 50 is like down, 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 right? So the problem is that these have curled, they've flattened out. They haven't curled down yet, which is, so it's not a kiss of death just yet, but this 50 slicing through here, it's not good. Momentum's going the wrong way. If you throw some other indicators up here, I think you'll see that you're probably losing momentum. But look at this on a longer time frame, you're just in a downtrend. So on a macro level, XRP is just in a downtrend. You probably found support right there too if you draw like touch on whatever. I think this spike doesn't count. There's like another spike here that really counts for the market structure. Yeah, I mean it's in a downtrend. Doesn't look good, doesn't look good. Oh, no, I'm wrong. I had it on the wrong time frame. But there's your moving averages. They've all kind of peaked out. 50's peaked out. Yeah, but it's in decision mode right now. So if you break this and break up, you'd have to close. For me to be confident, you'd have to get back above at least your 200-day and close above it. Close above your 200-day, you got a chance. Close above the 120, you're going up. That's pretty much that's simple. Hi, Homer. Let me look at Henry's question. Let me go back to these questions here. What role all alts in BTC, FOMO phase, or keep hodl positions? Oh, I'll keep my hodl positions. I'm doing all this analysis just for the trading that I'm doing. I have a small chunk of my Bitcoin on Kraken, and my accounts in Bitcoin, and I'm just trading versus Bitcoin, just doing leverage trades versus Bitcoin with a small amount of my Bitcoin. Yeah, I'm hodling. So I do all those videos about the best coins to hodl, which would be these up here: ETH, ADA, Link, DOT. I have 8% ETH, 8% ADA, 6% Link, and like 3% DOT or something like that. I don't know. It's probably 9, 9, 7, and 3 right now. Yeah, I'm just holding these. I'm also holding VET. VET's the other one I'm holding. I'll hold those. I'm not trading those. But when I'm talking about these trades, it's just for a small portion of my funds. No problem, Salamander. I hope that helped you. BTC almost 38,000. What? Man, every time I do a live stream lately, it's like we're having a 25K, like it's slamming in at 25, 30, 35. I just keep doing live streams. It goes up about 3,000 every time I do a live stream. I just lost all my viewers. What happened? Did my stream die? Alright. Is Dot bullflogging? Yeah, Dot's bullflogging. BTC. I think so. I guess I see ADA and Link as helping me get more BTC. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much what I'm doing too. Same exact thing. Oh yeah, Paul. Yeah, exactly. Jordan's got me going on this YouTube thing, and I'm, yeah, struggling. Struggling to keep up with him, that's for sure. Do you see a danger of hitting a 40% pullback on? Okay, yeah, my stream's going. It's like the YouTube page said everything dropped to 0 real fast. All right, I'm just a glitch in YouTube. Do you see a danger of hitting 40% pullback on BTC? Yeah, of course. I'm always cognizant that it's probably going to happen at any moment. What would a 40% pullback do? It'd put it. Can we go to my moving averages here? I like my moving averages or stuff like this. Hold on. Where we're at right now, a 40% pullback would take us. Man, it wouldn't even take us anywhere near the prior all-time high. It'd take us right to the 50-day moving average. Great dip buy. Hit the 50-day, and this prime trend line I had here. If you look back here, all these touches we had. This is one of my prime trend lines. Yeah, I'd put us right back there. No problem, Frisbee Dogs. XO extended down against the 50 and 20. Yeah, 40% is only the, you know, we may just be all just shocked, and it'll do like a 50%, 60% sell off or something, and just shake a lot of people out. I don't think it's going to happen just because of just the macroeconomic situation right now, the DXY, the weakness in the dollar. I mean, I've said this, I've talked about this analysis I've done before, but when the dollar is in a decline, Bitcoin pumps harder and more, and big dollar is obviously in a big decline. It's going to continue to be under pressure. So that's just going to make the case for Bitcoin that much stronger. Yeah. Let's look at some setups, and then I'm actually going to work on some charts. So here's our altcoin phases. I mean, I don't think I need to work on my charts. I like where they're at. It's kind of busy. I need to get rid of some of these trend lines I don't need down here. I don't need them currently. There's our main channel. We're looking to break out of this. Of course, we've already broken out of this channel. This is kind of a rough channel. ADA BTC is looking to resume. We're out of this. This is when I said it would be safe to trade, right? We get out of that downtrend that we were in. Then it's really this. Now we're out of that. We're into this big resistance right here. You look at this is a big historical resistance. Break that, and ADA's really safe to trade. I started trading already just because I just had a strong feeling this was going to move. Now this is not giving us a lot of signals. I entered, my entry was as we retook this level here and then here. Those are my two entries. I didn't enter. Yeah, I tweeted on Twitter. I tweeted here and I missed this entry. It happened so fast. I didn't have my order in properly and I missed that. So I missed that third entry. But I tweeted about it right there. And then boom, off we went. Link's coming into horizontal support. Link's coming into horizontal support. A little bit of, trend line support. A little bit of horizontal support below that. This is versus Bitcoin. Yeah, Link's struggling here a little bit compared to the others. I think Link is set up for a big move, though. There's been a lot of regulation FUD, which I think I have to see the result of that FinCEN. Anybody know the result of the FinCEN? Don't think there will be a big correction until 40 or 50K, but who knows? Yeah. I think we were talking about this earlier, right? I think 40 to 42 would be a really good level to fake a lot of people out, because at 40 to 42, people are probably going to be like, well, maybe it's just going to keep going up. That's about the time people start to believe that it's just going to keep going up, and then boom, it reverses. But think about that, 42 back to 32. That might shake a lot of people out, but I don't think any of us thought we'd be at 32,000 early in January. So what do you think about Stellar? XLM? So Stellar is the open version of, hold on, look at something here. What did they add on the, didn't they make a big move? Yeah, so they made a move up to 9. They're in top 10 now. Wow, Stellar made a 194% move over the last 7 days. Oh my goodness. Here, sorry, that's what I was looking for. Still, I saw it jump up, so it jumped up past Chainlink again. So Stellar, yeah, I think a lot of people are moving to Stellar. So Stellar's like the open source, the community version of XRP. I like Stellar. I was watching it. Let's see what the charts say. Oh, is what's happening? Are people moving from? Is this people deciding to go from XRP to XLM? Because I know XLM mirrored XRP there for a while. Yeah, maybe it's XRP. XRP's in that resistance. XRP users moving to XLM, maybe. Maybe that's what happened. From a trade setup perspective, I mean, you never really got a setup. It just reversed. I mean, if you were watching it closely, probably could have entered right here somewhere. You'd have to be really on it. That'd have been hard. Breakout, retest. This is a setup right here. So maybe I was watching this earlier apparently. This is now support, obviously. Let's see if I can find a setup. Yeah, so you're getting a setup right now. So you broke this downtrend. I'd look for some consolidation here. You probably get it below this trend line. Look at these magic trend lines going to work. I hadn't touched these in a week or two. Look at this on a really low time frame. On the 8 hour, you had an entry, breakout, retest, resumption. Right there would have been your entry, a CTM entry. Conquer the market. If you want to trade like we do, you got to join Jordan's live streams 8 a.m. in the morning, or at least watch Conquer the Trading videos. Yeah, so your next setup is going to be you broke out. If you get another retest of this horizontal level, this trend line breakout here, you might get another entry signal. I think you're probably safer to trade if I look at this closely. If you clear this area right here, yeah. This would be a clear, all right, we're back in the, that's a good area. That's a safe area. That's a lot of room to move to. I mean, I know that it looks like things have pumped a lot, but they just have been recovering. It's just, they were so beat down that they're just recovering. This is versus Bitcoin too. Bitcoin makes a big move, but yeah, if Stellar were to take a big, portion of this that it lost versus Bitcoin back, it's a humongous move. So that's something we'll probably watch. Good point. So yeah, this is the 1214. So 1241 Satoshis would be the level I'd watch for. And if you look at this, actually, if I pull this up here, look at this little trend line. See this trend line? The top of this trend line's right in there. So yeah, you'd be right now. You could probably play these two trend lines, a bounce off this trend line up to that trend line, but you're still into a resistance there, right? You still haven't broken that. So I don't know that you can safely trade this because you're out of this trend line, this other trend line. So you can put on an aggressive trade starting here, but the safe trade would be to wait until we get above all this. If it keeps going that far, get some consolidation up here, try to get in before I break out up there. That level, yeah, I think, you know, you really start to look at a safe level at 1241. Right now you're at 1010. You could probably take a trade off of like the 928 level. Oh, sorry, Susan asked, do you see that as a spike and a pullback or gradual? In Bitcoin, if that's what you're asking, a Bitcoin sell-off would probably at this point be kind of a sustained move down because of how we top out, make a big spike down, recovery, and then kind of ping pong down. Something like that. It's probably what we do now. Wouldn't be one of these little bitty spikes down if we do get a but you know, I don't know. I've been proven wrong about Bitcoin a bunch. Because a spike here and boom, off to 70,000. I don't know. I think we probably go up a little bit more here, get some more. We're in price discovery right now, so we'll just see where it decides to reverse on itself. But I do think this next sell-off will be more of a sustained sell-off, which people will call a sell-off. People will be freaking out. Oh, Bitcoin's down 30%. It'll be a consolidation is all it'll be for the next leg up. Ukraine is using XLM to build this digital currency with. That's right. That's what caused the pump. I saw that's right in the news. Thank you, Marcos. Perfect. Yeah, I think XLM is a good play. I mean, this is so now that Stellar is going to get blown up. XLM is where everybody that was building on Stellar is going to go. So XLM is going to get, you know, where XRP is going to get destroyed. XLM followed XRP's price for a long time, but now, you know, you've got basically these two ecosystems are probably going to converge on XLM. So that's probably a good idea, good play. How long do you usually leave alt BTC trades open? I have my normal HODL portfolio. I want to trade alt BTC pairs. So my trades, Homer, a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, maybe at most. I've opened and closed some already in this like little spike here, but they've just been more getting stopped out at profit. Like I actually did some bottom fishing here. Like I told everybody here, and then I got stopped out at 25. But then I re-entered a position off when we double bounced off this bottom. I re-entered like right here at 24 as we retook this level. Or basically, I bought basically when I saw it kind of bounce off this support and resume, and then made this huge move up. And I think when we spiked up here, I moved my stop loss on one of those trades, that particular trade, all the way up to here, and I got stopped out. But then I've re-entered since then. So I have been technically kind of taking, but no, I just took profit. Yeah, so I took another trade here. Look at this 12-hour. I'm trying to remember what I did. I don't even remember what I did anymore. I took a trade here somehow. It was a breakout. I think it was just a breakout, small breakout order is what it was. Yeah, it was a small breakout order right there. So I had an order at 24, an order here, and I have another trade I've put on in here. But I did take profit on this very bottom order up here. That was a scalp play. Or I might have actually taken profit on that order right here. Actually, I think I did. And then I put another trade back on. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Yeah, so since this has been happening, I've placed a couple trades like on ETH. I took a scalp down here on ADA, which I closed, took profit on. We blasted up, I think, right when we came to this resistance right here, or this trend line right here. And then I put on a trade in ADA down here, and I posted a trade here and I didn't take it. I missed that. So I'll keep these on. I mean, like ETH BTC, I'm wanting to build a series of small positions, small trades, and ride it if I can, up until we get to that box I've been targeting, right? So however long that takes. Once we really break out and start to move, I'll be done. Like I probably need to put on probably one more trade and I'll be good. So I think I've got 2 positions still open here. Maybe a third one and I'll be good. So that, you know, I might be a couple weeks, a month, I don't know. BTC is always crashing, yeah, no joke. For me, XLM is not tradable right now. Yeah, I don't blame you. XRP is absolutely off my list. I have it at the very, very, very bottom here so I can laugh at it. That's literally, I just have it at the bottom so I can sit there and look at how pathetic it's being. Look at this. Let's do this. XRP Bitcoin. I can't even get a... Oh, yeah. My cracking feet on that. That looks really bad. Now, there you go. That's what you really need to be watching. Let's get rid of this. I need to add that to my chart. That's the one to watch. That looks ugly. Yes, this is Craig, but you've made me so much, I've decided to go Satoshi style. Hold on. Blue is my favorite color. I like your new MC ears. Master Cryptos. You've been most profitable in your guidance. Yeah, it's been a pretty good run, hasn't it? I've been definitely killing the ETH trade. I've had ETH pegged for a while now. Don't know how. Like I literally. Would the breakout happen 200 something? My brother's on here. He can vouch for this. I told him to buy, and I bought right here initially. I think. I don't know if you bought ETH yet by then. I think I told him to buy Bitcoin for the big Bitcoin breakout. But I literally bought. Like I had some ETH, right? So I've been ETH mining for a long time. I had a little bit of ETH, but I rotated some real funds in, and I bought some ETH down here. Right after this bear market, right? And so I was actually 70% ETH when ETH did this insane takeoff. I took some profit here and I took a lot of profit right into 488. And it was like the most ridiculous, like fortunate thing. And then this is what I rotated. This area is when I rotated from 70% ETH to 70% BTC, and then BTC started its breakout. And then we've had a really good run. I think I called on the Telegram group. I posted like a breakout somewhere right here or something, and then ETH went on this insane, run up to 620. And then I said that I was taking profit at 620. We bought back at 488. Yeah, perfect. We literally took profit here, bought back in here, and then I've been in since then. And I think I might have added here. And then it's just been, like for my HODL position, those are my entries. Literally, like I'll mark this. Besides what I was already holding coming into it, I bought here, literally sold here, bought here, sold there, bought there, bought there. Yeah. That's been, and then I took a trade on ETH. So those trades that I took were down here, right in here. The ETH BTC trades were right in here, the opening ones. So I've been very fortunate to have had a good pulse on what ETH's doing. There he goes. Tanner says it. True facts. But I didn't expect ETH to lead BTC out of the gates so hard when that whole DeFi craze this summer, but that worked out pretty well. All right, guys. Let's see here. Anything else we want to talk about? Anything else? Anybody see anything interesting going on before I wrap up? Let's go see what's down. I haven't seen what's down lately. I mean, everything's going to look up versus USD. Zalika, this big pump. Remember, I never even got involved in all this, and I kept telling everybody, look, Zalika's a one-trick pony with their sharding. Dot does sharding too, and they do a whole lot more. But it's still, it's still an uptrend. It's still tradable for sure if you're trading it. If you're interested in the project, they do have stuff going for them, but they're just not as strong as ADA. Not as strong as Cardano. 0x, Ocean. Ocean's been, oof. That was not good. This is why, the only AI play I have is that VXV one, and it's up versus Bitcoin versus Ocean, which is down. Bad. Which WX exchange do you recommend? Do you mean like a non-custodial exchange, like a DEX? Like a decentralized exchange? Or just a exchange in general? I recommend when you first get started with crypto, you just use Gemini, because you need an on-ramp, right? So you need a way to get funds from the US dollar to crypto, and the best and safest on-ramp is Gemini, if you live in the US anyway. If you don't live in the US, there's more options. Coinbase I would avoid. Oh, Henry, are you looking for an ADA entry? Are you looking at BTC or on USD? BTC is going to give you an entry right now. Literally right now. literally right now. Versus beats, this is an 8 hour. You can see it. We've been ping ponging around here. You're at the midpoint. I would let this maybe form, I don't know, just because of how explosive it can be. It's likely to ping pong and then take off, but the reason I say you have an entry right now is because it's in an intermediate uptrend. We're outside of this trend line and it's consolidating, and you have momentum on your side. So you're making higher lows on the 8 hour. Now this has been technically a lower high, but that's just consolidation. So you know, if you want to get into ADA, that's it's not a true entry yet. I'd wait for the 12 hour to finish forming an entry signal for you. So I would watch your 12 hour chart. When this candle finishes printing, whatever the high of the body of this candle is, assuming we get down below it on the next chart, the next candle, and then resume back above it, that's your entry. It's a great entry. Now on the USD chart, you might print an entry here too, right? So breakout, we have to retest this level, maybe this level, and then whenever this 12 hour candle's finished printing, whatever the high of that body is, that's your entry when you retake that. Buying 80 with USD, yeah. So this 12 hour candle is printing right now. You want to take out the body of this. Whenever you take out the body of this 12 hour candle, the next 12 hour candle, it's an entry signal for you. I think, my opinion. It's not financial advice. You lose all your money, lose 1,000%, and be living in a van down by the river if you listen to me. ADA BTC to roll into BTC laterally. Why do you only have so little link dot and ADA percentage-wise in your HODL portfolio? Don't you think it'll outperform BTC in the bull market? I mean, I've got 30%, because think of it this way. I've got 30% of my funds in Bitcoin right now, or 30%, 70%, and then 30% in my HODL positions. But I've moved a percentage of my Bitcoin to Kraken, and I'm trading with leverage on that and margin. So it's the positions that I actually have in active trades are larger. The imagery of my banner. Oh, the van by the river and all that. The positions that I'm taking, because I'm trading leverage with margin, are larger than the actual amount. So really, I am trading much larger than 30%, right? So my HODL positions are 30%, but with my trades, with the leverage I'm doing, it's more like 50% probably is actually in alts in theory, and then 50%. But it's two parts. One, I just feel safer holding a lot of my Bitcoin in cold wallets offline where it's not being, it's not accessible, and having a smaller amount, on an exchange that's vulnerable. So that's another way to look at it. But yeah, I mean, I guess in theory, probably with the leverage and everything I'm using, it's more like 50% of my money is currently occupied in alts somewhere. And Tanner does live in a it's nicer than a van, but he lives in a house by the lake. Do you like BlockFi like Jordan does? Yeah, I use BlockFi. So I have a portion of my Bitcoin and Ethereum on BlockFi collecting interest. Yes. All right, guys. Thanks everybody for joining. So I'm gonna try to chop this up into a bit of a video to put up for tomorrow. But let's see what Bitcoin's doing. We're not gonna hit 38,000 tonight, but not before I wrap up anyway. Probably will tonight. I'll wake up tomorrow morning. It'll be 57,000 or something. It'll either be 57,000 or 25,000. That's the way Bitcoin works. Oh, sorry, Henry. No problem, Craig. I mean, I don't know if I have any hot takes for you guys, but I think we're going to see some consolidation here just a little bit, and then we'll hit a resumption. Let's look at the Bitcoin dominance chart. You see, it's exactly what happened, right? We had this initial rejection. This is, when I said alt season began, it was right here. We sliced down through here, fighting with the 69. We'll hit this 69.5 level, and eventually probably take a move down, and that's when there's less support on this side. But if you look one more time, back to this, we're not in alt season yet even, right? It's still, Bitcoin is still very strong versus alts. The tide is just now turning. When the tide really turns and the alt starts to run, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. All right, guys, thank you all for your time. BTC looks like a bear flag. A BTC dominance. Yeah, I agree. It's a bear flag. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what that is. Let's do it on the 8 hour. I'll draw it real well. Doesn't look very good. On the 8 hour, it doesn't look like a bear flag, but yeah. That there is a bear flag. Alright guys, everybody good night. Talk to y'all later.